We got to do top three remotes one week.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Oh yeah, that's cool. Welcome back, Digital Ramblers. How are y'all doing today? It's me, your co-host JJ Cannon, and my good friend Mr. Kris Gamble. What's happening, brother?
Hey JJ, good to see you in our Monday recording. It's our weekly catch up, and I'm looking forward to episode 44 today.
Man, I am digging your scene over there. You definitely took it a step up. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I got different headphones this week, so I'm trying out some new tech. But people last week were asking about this light here.
Yeah,
It's the Nano Leaf
the Nano
light.
Leaf.
Yeah, it's a cool bit of tech. Go check that out on online. Nano Leaf.
That's cool, man. Did you have a good week last week?
Yeah, busy catching up after the week away in the States, and just full on now. The diary, like I said before to you, the diary's full till March or April. So we're just cutting our way through job after job after job.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of lighting control and a lot of shades and things like that. So it's booked way out, working with architects and designers and some builders, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of new construction, working on projects, not just single homes, but multiple houses in one project.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we're getting them stacked up for us as well. We're not quite as booked out as you are, but definitely booking out through the end of the year right now. Clients are loving the solutions that we talk about on a daily basis. And so, and Gamble, one thing that we got in here is like, who are we? Like, why are people listening to us?
Well, they're listening to us because we've been in this game a long, long time. My light's gone off.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey Google, turn on the office lights. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
A little bit of voice control there. 5:30, everybody ships out of this office, and so I don't want anyone leaving the lights on. But there's an example there of us of home automation. So 5:30, everything shuts down because it's normal end of working day here, and nobody has to worry about leaving a light on because the smart home lighting here, the Philips Hue and the Lutron, turns off.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And so Gamble and I, we are two home technology professionals. We've been in it and combined of 30 years together of providing incredible experiences for homeowners as well as small businesses. And we greatly appreciate our people trying us out, and then also our digital ramblers that come back every week to check out our new episode. And last week, speaking of episodes, last week was epic. Loved last week's episode.
Yeah, so we did say we were going to have a more effort bringing on guests, and we had Jamie from Tech Dad, and he talked to us about Techmenity, which was a fascinating insight into this new business. Not a new business, but new service they're offering to buildings and the people living and owning these buildings. So that was intriguing to learn about that. And then he also led us into an introduction to wellness.
Yeah. Wellness, I think, is really going to take off. I mean, I was kind of on the fence about it, but experiencing it there at CEDIA Expo and really understanding how it could benefit, and then spending just only 8 minutes in that wellness, environment was refreshing, man. And so I can't imagine, or I can imagine corporate environments or multi-dwelling environments having kind of these refresh stations or these refresh pods that you can go into and kind of get recharged in a quick bit.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a big part of our lifestyle in the future, in the same way that we pay a lot for things like meditation and massage and treatments and all these kind of things. I think wellness spaces, it's a business opportunity there. This high street where the decline of stores, people closing up, there's space available now to maybe create some of these wellness suites or studios.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Gamble, you know what? I always want to encourage our viewers, if they want to know more about us or check out our past episodes, check out digitalrambleshow.com. Our website is awesome. I love our website. You can access like our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook, all of our podcast channels, because we're on we're on 11. Come where your shirt is down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We're on 11 podcast services, and we're getting ready to talk a little bit about that today. So thanks, friends. We appreciate y'all listening to us, sharing us.
Let's get into today's episode. We've got kind of getting a little bit back to our roots. We're going to do a top six tech list of essentials, things we can't live without.
I'm ready. You ready to get into it?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, Gamble. Also, I want to make sure that we thank our Patreons at patreon.com/digital ramble. They contribute to us on a monthly basis. If you want to help support our podcast, please go to patreon.com/digital ramble and contribute for as little as $5 a month.
That's right. And today's episode, do you have a show on radio there, Desert Island Discs, or is that a UK thing?
Nah,
This is where I got the idea. Desert Island Discs is three albums or tracks that you would want to take to a desert island to listen to, maybe your three all-time great songs or albums. And it got me thinking about what would be the three can't live without items of tech if that's all you had left in your home, of your smart home. And this one is a big one for people to contribute as well in the comments. Leave us replies, video replies, leave us a voice message on Anchor. What are the three things that you, the viewer and the listener, what could you not live without in your smart home? And JJ and I are going to run through three each. We're going to go vice versa on our three essential tech items.
Yeah, definitely, Gamble. And this is a great topic, and in our spaces, whether it's at the house or maybe at the office or even in the car, there's technology that we're living with on a regular basis. Predominantly, my choices are going to be a little bit, well, I don't know, we'll see. Actually, one of them is predominantly in my house. I guess the first one that I like is my frame TV, man. I absolutely love my frame TV. I mean, it does double duty. And yeah, I can watch traditional television with it, but I really like it because I like artwork. I enjoy artwork. I also like going around our city and snapping pictures of local artists that have created some really cool artwork on the sides of buildings. And my family and I would get out there as a family and we take pictures of each other, and I'm able to take that and put it onto my frame television and then also put it into a slideshow so that it shows us new family pictures. In the past, it wasn't as easy, but with the frame television it is, and it just looks good. I don't know, there's something different about the frame TV and how it presents artwork or pictures than on a traditional display, LED, LCD, OLED. I don't know, it's just different. So
I think the frame TV has a sensor that monitors that ambient light, but also as almost like a filter or a preset that shows off in a way to mimic what a canvas or a piece of artwork would look like, and not that false lit screen that you get when you're watching TV or the content on there.
We installed a frame TV in a client's home, and it was over kind of an armoire type area, and you didn't even know it was a television until you turned it on. It's beautiful, brilliant, and there's a variety of different artwork that's already preloaded in there, and you can choose from some of those just depending on what kind of style and flavor. How about you, man? What you got? What is a your number one must have, or your first must have?
Yeah. It kind of goes back to what we always say about the network being crucial. I just could not go back. If you disconnected this from my house, there would be friction. My devices would be complaining. My family would be complaining. If I didn't have a mesh Wi-Fi system in my home, there's no point having any tech. If I had to just rely on the internet service provider's wireless router to deliver the connection I need to all the rooms in the house, devices on the outside of the house like cameras and doorbells, connectivity in my garden, connectivity on the driveway. It just wouldn't happen without it. And for me, it's an Amplify HD mesh Wi-Fi kit, two antennas, one router, and that just covers my whole home with Wi-Fi. So I can't live without that, because I would literally have my 9-year-old son moaning in my ear constantly because things are buffering and things are not connecting the way he wants them to.
Oh man, I have to agree with you, man. That is like a must-have device. I mean, if we didn't have it in our home, homework wouldn't be getting done. FaceTiming, communications through our smart devices would not be getting done. Wi-Fi is crucial. It's the foundation, like we've been saying for years, Gamble. It's the foundation for everything that we talk about. That's built on.
But this one in particular, the Amplify Mesh Kit, I've tried a lot of mesh Wi-Fi systems, and I've been specific on the brand here. This one is a home run. If you're struggling with your Wi-Fi at home, look for this brand. It's not necessarily going to be on the big box store shelf. You may have to go online, you may have to find your Home Tech Pro, but ask for Amplify HD. It's a powerful mesh kit.
That's cool, man. All right, my number two, streaming content. And this is something that you can do at your house or in your vehicle or at the office. I mean, it's completely omnipresent as long as you got a connection to the network or have data connection. And I remember several years ago trying to get away from cutting the cord and just the lack of content or access to content visually was just not there yet. And I was just thinking of all the things that you could do or reduce out of your monthly with streaming content. For us, like YouTube TV is big because regardless of where we're at, we can watch the local channels of whatever area that you're at. Plus, we have all of our sports channels. I mean, it's unlimited in sports channels. It's crazy. I didn't even know there was that many sports channels. And then if you're a news person, it's got all kinds of news that you can shake a stick at. And then if you like movies, my girls and I, we've been sitting on the sofa on the weekends or in the evenings. There is a variety of different movies to choose from. And the cool thing, Gamble, is it has a DVR, like a cloud service DVR access to it, that we can record. Or like last night we did Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And and I don't know if you know what that is, but we
Yeah.
love Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And we hit the plus button, and plus means record. And so we watch some of it, and then we're going to pick up on the rest of it whenever we have time. We also are big college football fans, in particular, Florida Gators. And man, we love being able to record and go back and watch the football game whenever we have time, because it takes up a lot of time and you just don't have time sometimes to sit down and watch it. But having it in cloud, having it in streaming, I don't have to go home, Gamble. We can watch it on the phone. We can watch it on the laptop. We can watch it on a tablet. It's anywhere, whenever, however you want to watch streaming content. That's video. I didn't even get into the music.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine going back to the way it was
Oh,
before. I love being able to pause, content on one screen and then access, just open that app on another screen in my own home, or I go to my office, or I go to log into my Netflix account in somebody else's house, and I just resume that program. So I couldn't imagine going back to the way it was, and I try my best with our clients to get them across to that way of consuming content, both for video and audio.
it's a tough switch, man. It's like we have clients that want us to hook up a CD player. And I'll gladly hook up their CD player. I really would love to hook up their vinyl player. I mean, I think vinyl is where it's at. But if you're gonna stream digital content, man, I really try to push them in that. Like iHeartRadio is a freebie, or TuneIn Radio is a freebie. Pandora even can be a freebie, but Spotify, man, you get them into Spotify, it's like having a record store at your fingertips. It's like
Yeah.
having unlimited amounts of recorded content from endless amounts of genres at your fingertips instantly, wherever you're at. I love that. I mean, that 5 years ago, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, not almost non-existent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Correct me.
I think it was just coming, but people hadn't got into that subscription mindset that you have your TV subscriptions. Everybody had like cable or satellite TV services. Now you're seeing them cutting the cord, is the term we're hearing a lot. And you're still paying a lot, but you're paying it to Amazon Prime, and Apple TV Plus, Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music. So lots of options. You have your preferences, but the good thing about the smart TVs or the streaming boxes that you're buying or the consoles, they have the app ready for your preferred channels or apps. So
Yeah.
yeah, streaming content could not live without that. Um, my second choice is, I go on about lighting a lot, and people always think I'm going to have this ridiculously expensive lighting system in my own house, but I invested several years ago in Philips Hue light bulbs. Um, for somebody that had always worked with pro lighting systems, highly complicated, took up lots of space, in cupboards in people's homes, and people thought I would have this myself. I'm such a huge fan of a smart light bulb. The replacement of an existing bulb, put in the smart variant that could be, low price for just a single color, warm white, but pay a little bit more and you get that full white spectrum from cool to natural to warm white. And then go a little bit further and add color changing. So that to have that ability to change the effect in a room with color and brightness and temperature of light was just a wow for us as a family. And then when you add the Philips Hue accessories, the wireless switches, the motion sensors. The motion sensor for me is the one that I still smile at. And I don't get bored of it because it works every time, which is good. It's reliable. But at different times of day, depending on the time of day, I walk into a room, I get one color. I walk into the room a few hours later, I get the same color but dimly lit. I go into that room after midnight, it's at the lowest brightness or just one single bulb. Like in a bathroom, I just need minimum light to do my thing that I need to get up for at night, and that's happening more regularly as I get older. But I don't want to wake up. I don't need it full brightness. And this wireless sensor, battery powered, I can put it anywhere. For me, Philips Hue lighting is one of the most addictive home tech purchases you can make. Please start with a kit, then start adding those accessories and start adding some of the integrations as well as you get a bit more confident with the system. So Philips Hue lighting and their motion sensor in particular is I couldn't function in my house without it. If I go back to turning on lights and they're on full brightness, I'd have a meltdown at night. I couldn't get back to sleep. I wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the video. Yeah, you get a look in there. No doubt,
Yeah.
man. I mean, lighting control, it's not, it's more than, dimming and, dimming your lights. It's way more than that, especially with Philips Hue and the color options. I mean, Philips Hue, Valentine's Day. I'm just thinking Barry White mode, man. You hear me talking about Barry White mode a lot, and you can sit
Halloween, JJ.
Halloween,
Yeah.
absolutely, or Christmas, or
Yeah.
your favorite football or baseball team hits a home run, and your lights, if you set it up with if then statements, can flash the colors of whatever your favorite team is. I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it.
JJ, you'd be lucky if I've spent more than £600 on all the lighting. So, okay, that's still a lot of money, but I've added all the color lighting, the sensors, the switches, start to add their outdoor lights as well. I've hardly, in comparison to a pro system, it's a tenth to what we're putting into some customers'
And the return on that $600 investment is just so impactful. And Gamble, we've seen some expensive lighting control systems.
Yeah.
Like seriously, so $600 is like nothing. I mean, $600 is something, but it's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
JJ, I took these lights with me when I moved home. So it's not as if I had them embedded in the infrastructure of the building. I just unscrewed them and put dumb bulbs back in.
Yeah.
So long-term investment there.
I love that.
What have we got for number 3, JJ?
This one kind of is all encompassing, and I've been playing around a little bit with it, and I did drop a video about it last week. Is voice control, man. Voice control, voice control. I am digging some Amazon Echo. And I'm playing with both of them in my space, and also Home Assistant, Google Home Assistant, and just kind of getting a good feel with it. To be honest with you, man, I'm kind of digging on that Google Home Assistant right now. I'm liking how it's laid out in the app. I'm liking how easy it is to ask a command. The options. I mean, if you go through their device list of different things that you can control, it's almost endless of how you can control things through voice control. I use it a lot for my fans and for my lights, and now I'm using it a lot for my Sonos music system. Whether I'm at home or away from home, you
Sure.
can get things to trigger at different locations just depending on how you set it up. And setting it up is pretty straightforward, but it can be tricky. Don't get me wrong. I mean, really, you kind of want to have a professional in there for all these things that we've been talking about. If you want to get it super custom, or being able to get it to work in unique different ways. But man, I am really liking my voice control, and so does my family. My younger girls like playing music, but also it's kind of cool for some homework and items like that if they're needing to do some research on a particular, I don't know, subject or topic, country, populations, climate, challenges, abundances. It's just right there at a verbal command, rather than having that shelf of encyclopedias. I don't know if y'all had those back in the days, but
We still enjoy books. There's no doubt. There's
there's no
still nothing
replacement for
more.
books. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
but
instant access.
do you know what we've had recently? We've resolved dinner table arguments or discussions by asking Madam A, give us the answer, put us all out of our misery, or who's right? Is it dad? Is it mum? It's always
Uh,
Jack. My son, he's always right. So it's him that's asking the question, so he knows the answer, you
yeah,
know.
are y'all placing any bets? Like, I'll take two macaroni for your.
Uh, no, but be gamble aware. Bet responsibly, kids. No, we don't get involved with that. But
But I mean that's like.
well, we just did voice at the start of the episode. I just yelled at a speaker
Can,
and
can you give us a all right? So you have voice control, and you got it
sure.
hooked up to color. Do you have? Can just give us an example of voice with your lighting control scene?
Hey Google, turn off the TV.
Sure, turning the TV
So
off.
there's it linked with Logitech Harmony Hub,
Yeah,
and there you go. Just killed the TV
that's awesome, man. I love it.
and whatever I wanted to come back on at. So hey Google, turn on Netflix.
All right, turning Netflix on.
Look at that.
Should fire up, should open the app. But the use of voice control. So there's Netflix there. It's so convenient. I've not even taken my hands out of my pocket because it's cold.
It's chilly.
Yeah. No, voice controls there's a massive one, and
And it's
even
I,
this
I
week,
think it's just going to continue to grow in
even
popularity.
this week in the news, we saw the release of the wearable tech, the Echo Ring. Did you see that?
No.
It's wearable ring, so it's like talk to the hand,
Oh.
and yeah, you got your voice control wherever you are.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there's the Echo headphones. So on the move, you can be asking for weather, travel, arrival time, friend, call a friend. All these things through the Echo headphones and the ring. Very
That's cool.
cool.
That's cool. Well, all right. What else you got, brother?
Okay, last one. We've talked about it before, but this is crucial to not just my home, but also my business as well, and that's a smart doorbell. And in particular, at both premises, we run with a Ring Doorbell Pro. And at home, we get so many deliveries nowadays, and we're not always home to take them. So just that ability to get to speak to the delivery driver and instruct them where we want the parcels to be kept. And then equally at the office, we probably get 10 times the amount of deliveries that we get at home. And just instructing them, either a code for our locker that we've got next door, or even if it's somebody that's visiting our offices and we're running a few minutes late, it's for me, I was thinking of things I just couldn't live without, and I couldn't imagine not knowing who's at my front door anymore. So for me, the smart doorbell in general, but particularly Ring doorbells, looked after our properties for 3 years as a security device and as that eyes and ears and communication tool to people visiting our properties. I couldn't go back. When the battery goes out, we used to have the video doorbell too, and when the battery went down, it was like, again, the end of the world, because what was I missing? So another meltdown.
Yeah, man, we like that Ring doorbell as well. Actually, we have a Ring door view
Okay,
on
yeah.
our door, and I think you saw it when you came down. And I like it for a couple of reasons. One, it has like a knock sensor on it, so if somebody knocks on the door versus pushes the button, it alerts us, as well as it goes through our Amazon show that we have on the kitchen countertop. Also, it rings my cellular phone as well. The other thing that I like about it is that if somebody closes the door hard, it also gives me an alert that somebody left or came into the house. So it's more of an awareness for me of knowing kind of what's going on there at the house when I'm away. But also, if somebody like you were talking about, somebody pushes the button, you can communicate with whoever's at the front door. And the other thing about Ring, bro, is that they have a really cool ecosystem. It's not just the video doorbell, but it's the lights and landscape lights and motion sensors, and they got a really cool ecosystem that you can expand off of that video doorbell. The video doorbell is usually where everybody starts.
Sure. So that was, between the two of us, 6 items of tech that we can't live without, 3 each. We asked you at the top of the show, what would your 3 be, or even one that you couldn't imagine living without in your home? Please leave it in the comments. Like I say, leave voice messages, leave video messages to us, and we'll discuss them in next week's episode. We'll find a few minutes to talk about some of the things that you came up with that you couldn't live without.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think about our choices? I mean, I think our choices were pretty good, but I'm sure our audience even has some things that we're not even thinking about, Gamble.
Oh, for sure. And like I say, there's new tech arriving all the time, and there's tech that people rely on every day for protection and life safety and monitoring of young and older people or people with mobility issues. So I'd like to hear some examples of tech that's really having a positive effect on the way you're living in your home.
Cool. All right, we're getting back to our roots. Gamble Ramble today.
Oh yeah, let me get.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, fire it off.
Okay, so this comes off the back of seeing a LinkedIn. Have I missed I've missed the gunfire, have I?
That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna hit it on the backside.
So it comes off the back of a LinkedIn post where I saw a company take over a whole rack full of equipment and basically replace it with another rack full of equipment. And I couldn't bite my lip any longer. So I kind of let loose a little bit, and just said, that was the perfect opportunity to try something new. Try less is more. Try system local. Try some new products that have less boxes and less wires, because they're out there. The options are there. But time and time again, we see these businesses not embrace new methods. So they've gone for another rack full of gear. And as good as it's installed on day one, it's always going to get messy. Even the one that you just took over, at some point, that probably looked very, very good as well. Maybe not as good as you did it, because you may be this artisan of cabling, and big thumbs up to you for being a craftsman from the 1990s, you know, because that's the way I feel about it. It's an old school skill, and I'm afraid to see it still being taught in classrooms in our industry. But try and embrace new tech. Try and think of different ways out of the box that you can have the equipment local to the room or local to the screens, new control systems, using voice, less black boxes, test and learn, try it all, and just evolve. That's the message from the Gamble Ramble this week.
That's a good one, Gamble. Test, learn, test, learn, test, learn. You know, if you're not out there challenging the system, then nothing. There's no, there's no growth. There's no growth, and I love doing that. And you know, I got one of those coming up that I'm going to be blasting on social as well, and I'll share it with the Digital Ramble and our Digital Ramble family as well. Next week, what do we got, Gamble?
Well, I think it's time that we've tackled this topic because we found a new potential superstar smart home.
It looks good though.
The Cavo remote. We're gonna put on the line our 3 top remote controls for your smart home.
So I can only think of 2. I hope you got one more.
I've got a third. One.
All right, friends, thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Digital Ramble. We want to encourage you to check out our website again, digitalrambleshow.com. Like us, share us, friend us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on our 11 podcast channels. Drop us a DM, please.
And remember, if you don't know, find a Home Tech Pro.
All right, until next week, have a great week. Every month, the Digital Ramble will receive a regular source of income from supporters who've pledged through Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, having your ongoing support means we spend less time thinking about business and more time creating quality content for you.
Customized, based in Norfolk, England, are proud sponsors of the Digital Ramble. Check out our all set-up services. It's smart home installation with ease. Customize.uk.com.
If you're looking to make your basic home smart, check out digitaldelight.com/shop, where they have a variety of different smart home technology solutions that help make smart home shopping easy for you. Check out digitaldelight.com/shop.